One side of Wall Street motorcycle lurks. Lines of cocaine, hundred hill, hustle hands. Ready to ram your neck. I'm supposed to lead all hate people. Whoa, American cycle. Whoa, there you are, Jerry. Jerry, what is this? What do you mean? Are you going to hand me this, Jerry? Jerry, this is a Coca-Cola. I said I wanted a Pepsi. A cherry Pepsi. Gill-boy don't have cherry Pepsi for me? Well, Jerry, it tastes like poison and chemicals. Get this away from me, man. How dare you give that to the king, man? And Gill-boy wonders why I haven't been around too much. That's unacceptable. You know what? I just want to go ahead and let everybody know, man. He let me borrow that Christmas film, Terrifier, man. That movie had nothing to do about being terrifying or a clown or Christmas. It was about two French women who were orphans in a Catholic church and ended up finding some weird cult that did unspeakable things to them underneath their underground catacombs. It was the most disturbing, sick shit I've ever seen in my life. Excuse my language there. The king doesn't normally cuss, but I'm offended. So Gill-boy's lucky that I'm here right now in his Lagoon, hanging out. But anyways, I guess I'm going to talk about a film called American Psycho. As you can see, I was practicing singing the title track off of this Misfits albums because, I don't know, Emperor Melkor and I, we've been hanging out underneath the basement discussing the great rock albums of all time. So we'll look out for that, man. We might be doing a duet pretty soon. But anyways, we're going to talk about American Psycho, man. One thing about this film that I thought was pretty good, especially for a 2000 film, you know. They say it's a horror movie, but to me, I thought it was more of a comedy, man. More like a black comedy, man. And, you know, it stars Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman, and, you know, William Dafoe as some kind of, like, private detective, and Jared Leto's even in this film, man. I couldn't believe it, man. Wasn't he the best Joker, Jerry? By the way, I need to ask you, Jerry, what time is Terry going to get here, man? The coolant system needs to be refilled, man. You need to get him over here and fix that. It's really hot in here, man. If you expect me to make more than one video today, you can cut it out. I will talk about the film, Jerry. Don't interrupt me ever again. You need to get Terry out here to fix it, okay? That's the last time I'm going to tell you. Well, anyway, sorry, man. Samantha Mathis is in this film as well, man. So is Chloe Sevigny, man. It's a good film, man. I have to tell you what. I have to say, man, you know, this film's called American Psycho or something. I honestly really didn't. The only people that I thought were psychotic in this film were Patrick Bateman's friends. Patrick Bateman seemed like a good man to me. He had his head on his shoulders, very leveled, straight, narrow path down. I mean, his workout routine is immaculate, man. In fact, it inspired me. I think I need to do 1,000 sit-ups, you know, King's having a little bit too much of that meatloaf, you know what I'm saying? A little too much of that cherry pie. But, yeah, other than that, man, I mean, his workout team was great, man. I guarantee you, if all you guys are struggling with acne, if you do what Patrick Bateman did in that movie, within a freaking month or two, your acne will be gone, baby. Yeah, man, I mean, let's see, what can we say about this film? So, I guess, really, the most important part that I thought about it so far was his love for music, man. I mean, he was listening to all the great '80s hits, man. I mean, the only thing I was a little salty about is that he wasn't really too much of a fan of mine, but I can look past him, man. Not everybody has to like the King, you know what I'm saying? You know, he was listening to, you know, Phil Collins or whatever. He had a lot of things to say about that. I agree with him, a little pretentious or whatever. But Huey Lewis and the Times, man, is a great song. And what's the other one? What's the other song they sang? Something about some kind of Walking on Sunshine. Yeah, that was a great song, man. A lot of good music in this film, man. I even liked how they had Robert playing in the background there, man. They were talking about it all. You know, it's one of the greatest scenes, I think, in the entire film. It was whenever he's working really, really hard in his office, right? And they're having some kind of boring business meeting, and you know how many times have we been in boring business meeting ourselves? You know, especially the King. You know, having to sit there with too many business meetings, too many things about album covers and track listings, placing songs that I need to sing. I won't bore you with it because it's boring, you know. But anyways, I got the Jared Leto guy coming in, Paul Allen or whatever, and you can tell that Patrick Bateman is the superior man to all these other Van Leeuwens and whatever, you know. And he pulls out his card and he's showing them check it out. I got my new card by me. Look at it, and it's nice. And then they're like, oh, well, yeah, look at this card right here, And, prior to this, Paul, I was like, look at my new card, whatever, check that out, baby. And, then, Van Leeuwen thinks that the other guy's card is better than Patrick Bateman's. And I'm surprised, but obviously he probably needs glasses because, Patrick Bateman had the best card out of all of those yuppie men, And, again, this film's called American Psycho, but, a true psychopath would have gone and killed all of them afterwards, but he didn't really do that. He took out Paul Allen for dinner, and they had a little discourse on, musics and stuff. On the, Hunter Bateman, man, he was like, getting all, doing a little dancing move, and he had his little axe with him, baby, and he's like showing him, he's like, I'm gonna play some baseball, and he takes out the guy, man. And you know what, the Kings had to take out many people who come on to Graceland, man. They try to come in there and look at Priscilla, and I have to tell them, not today, man. So really, I think that Patrick Bateman, man, he's kind of the hero of this film. I don't think that he's the villain at all, and you can tell he's a very based man, man. You know what I'm saying? He likes a lot of women, and who doesn't like women? The king has had many women. Well, I only have had a couple of wives. My one and only is Priscilla, of course. I love you, Priscilla. Don't get mad at me, but it's true, man. I mean, when you're a straight alpha like Patrick Bateman, man, you got women dripping all over you, man. You know what I'm saying? So, really, I think this film is something that the youth today need to see. It's a good thing to pattern your life after, Patrick Bateman, man. He's a great guy, man. Look at him. He's a hardworking man. He gets 2 apartments after he gets rid of his enemy, Paul Allen. Paul Allen really wasn't going anywhere. And by the end, spoiler alert, by the end of the film, Paul Allen's not even dead. So a lot of this is just him going within himself, doing what he wishes he could do. And let me tell you what, I don't have too much anger problems, but there's been a couple times where I have envisioned, chasing people in the hallway with a chainsaw. In fact, one of those times, Priscilla didn't make dinner correctly, and so I had to go out and do a bunch of yard work, afterwards. And I got pretty fed up with it and came inside to tell her how never to burn meatloaf again. And she ran from me, and I was chasing her. And I was a little pilled out at the time and didn't really realize the chainsaw was on. So, I mean, that scene kind of made me remember me going after Priscilla. But, that's okay, man. Accidents happen with the king, Sometimes you take a little too much pills and you sleep for like 3 days and wake up and you feel better recharged. But, well, yeah, man, this film is a masterpiece, man. I can't say, I have to say, out of all the films that Gill-boy talks about, I have to agree with him on this one. This is a 10 out of 10 for the king here. If you haven't seen it, you should. I don't know why you haven't. It's been out since 2000. What are you living under a rock? You never seen one of the greatest films ever made? Well, you should, baby. It'll change your life. Now, well, this is based off of a novel, man. I like to read, but my eyes are a little hefty these days, so I have to do the audiobooks. But yeah, man, the writer of the story, man, Eston Ellis, man. Man. Brett Eston Ellis, baby. He wrote this book, and he was saying, I've got a pretty controversial novel here, and I'm pretty sure it can't be filmed. But Edward Pressman was determined to adapt and brought the film to life, man. And Stuart Gordon, David Cronenberg, and Rob West, they were considering directing it. But ultimately, it went to another director, man. And it went out to, Jerry, actually, hand me that cherry soda again, man. I know it's a Coke, it's pretty nasty, but... Oh, well, that was pretty bad, man. Oh... Well, what was I talking about, Jerry? Oh, the director of the film. It was directed by a woman named Mary Herron or whatever, And she's a great director, man. She made a great film, so I'll film here. I know that they were originally considering Leonardo DiCaprio to play the low. But ultimately, that didn't go down because Lion Gates film or something, they weren't able to get it, man, right? So, Herron fired Oliver Stone, and then after DiCaprio left, and due to creative differences, because you know how Leo is, man, he's like, no, man, it's gonna be like this. So, basically, principal photography began, right, and they ended up getting Christian Bale, and And I think that's the right choice, man. I mean, because look at it, it still stands the test of time, man. And honestly, man, I'll tell you what, man. If you watch this film right before you watch Batman Begins, it's kind of like a great prequel. It segues nicely into the whole Bruce Wayne storyline, you know. So it's pretty good to watch all this. But yeah, this film, man, I was there. I was in Sundance or whatever. You know, Priscilla likes to watch movies. You know, about 2000, man, I was undercover at Sundance, baby, and I saw it premiered, and it was great, man. It was the best movie there at the time. I thought it was going to win Best Picture. You know, fun fact about it, man, it grossed $34 million, man, on a $7 million budget, man. You talking about making your money back and then some, man. And unfortunately, we won't speak too much about the Mila Kunis, American Psycho 2 film. Really bad film there, but kind of close classing, I guess. But not for the King, man. Not for the King. I don't want to give that. That film might give Priscilla too many ideas. But it was a great film, man. And William Dafoe, man, he's a great man. And I saw in an interview he was saying, a couple of scenes I was played him a little differently. Jerry, hang on a second. Jerry, can you pause this film, Jerry? With me ever again, Jerry. When I tell you to pause something, I just pause it. I'm sorry that I'm a human being and have to go to the bathroom, man. You have any idea how hard it is to get in and out of the suit when you need to go do the pisser, man? Oh, we're filming now? Okay. Well, anyway, sorry about that, baby. Anyways, this film, William Dafoe, excuse me, Jerry, you're distracting me, man. We don't want to have to get in this conversation again, or are you going to pause it again? Well, guess what? Well, then we'll just have to have Larry edit it, won't we? Yeah, and make sure you get Terry down here too, okay, Jerry? Thank you. So anyways, William Dafoe, baby, he approached this thing, he was like, okay, I'm going to do 2 to 3 different takes in this scene, man. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be like, on this take, I'm going to know that Patrick Bateman is the killer. The other one, I'm going to be his friend, and the other one, I'm not going to know he's going to be his killer. And the editor and the director, they interwove these scenes beautifully in the film, so you never quite can tell what William Dafoe's character is truly thinking. Magnificent filmmaking, best I've ever seen. And like I said, that car scene is the best. That is the best scene in all of cinema. That's out of all the scenes I've ever seen in a film. That is by far the top scene ever made. And you can see it going on in the background right there, man. Check it out, man. It's just perfection, baby. Go ahead and try to copyright strike the King Lionsgate. I've got all the money in the world. I can just buy your whole company. So anyways, we'll have to do a watch party of this sometime. Elvis Presley and the King watching this. I had to come on the panel on Spooky Fan, man. We'll watch American Psycho, baby. We can sit here and discuss how everybody else is the asshole and the psycho in this film, man. Patrick Bateman's just trying to make a living, And he's got that cute receptionist girl that he likes a lot, Glad to see that he finally asked her out. Yeah, he almost put a nail gun to her head, but, who knows, man? She could have been a spy for the Russians, man. During the Cold War in the 80s, maybe, the King knows. Well, I thought a bunch of other women coming up to me and they were Russian. You never know, man. They could be spies. So I always kept a secret nail gun in my pouch. Man, look out, man. In my karate, man. You never know what's going to happen to them kind of people. Well, yeah, man, I think basically, this film solidified classic. It's came out in 2000. 25 years later, we're still watching it, still talking about it, man. Without this film, Jared Leto wouldn't have the illustrious career, It's because of this film he got to play the Joker, man. And then he's going to play the God of War Ares or whatever in some Gothball movie, Tron or whatever. Kind of Disney film or something like that, right? Well, and then of course, like I was doing earlier, man, this spawned the Misfits album, great song. It was a great film, man, controversial film, but controversial because it's good and great film, But I do know that Chris Amell, man, he went and met the author of the novel that he was in character, and he went to go and get his approval for the character, because as we said, the writer was like, I don't think this film could be made because of the way it was written, but as you can see, it's a film that holds the test of time, man. Really skyrocketed Christian Bale's career throughout the whole thing, out of this, he was like Bruce Wayne, and then he was, what's that one meth head guy in that movie, The Fighter, with Mark Wahlberg or whatever, and now I think he's John Madden, whatever his name is, right? But anyways, so Christian Bale went and knocked on his door and stayed in character, and I think within, the first 5-6 minutes, man, the author of the novel told him to stop it, creeped him out too much, so gave Bale his blessings on his character. No, I know a couple. What was it? A couple months back, they were thinking about remaking this movie, baby. What are you trying to remake gold, man? What do you want? It's 24 karat gold, man. What are you going to fake gold? You know, the little gold coins you get in the little store when you're at the candy store and the dollar store or whatever. You got to pay like 25 cents to get a fake gold coin. That's how that remake would look, man. I know they were going to look after. Well, get the what's his name who played me in that film about my life, man. That's a great movie too. That's another 10 out of 10 right there. And you better look out, man. The King's going to review that pretty soon too. Well, anyways, baby, you never seen this movie, you should. It's great, man. It's got great effects, great acting, great sets, great script, great lighting, well, great transitional shots, great messaging. Ultimately, if I had to dissect it philosophically, man, I think it's about basically, apathy, man. Look at how many people are apathetic today, man. People are catching each other on fire when you're walking down the streets and everybody just walks by like it's nothing, This movie's trying to talk about how everybody around you is American Psycho. I have a lot of bad thoughts about stabbing people to death and bathing in their blood too, but I don't ever act on it. It doesn't make me a psycho, Just ask Priscilla, I'm a great husband, Well, I don't know too much more that can be said about this film, man. I mean, it's just one of the greatest films of all time, And I know, technology has moved so much since the King's been, around. I don't know, one time when I went to the ATM, it told me to feed it a cat, and boy, I tell you what, man, that was a wild pussy that night, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, I got the money out, and I bought Priscilla some nice roses, and we had a great time, man. And Priscilla don't really like this film, says it reminds her too much of the King, but then again, when you, the leader of a whole company and, famous and all that stuff, how can it not be? So, anyways, man, I think I'm going to go hang out with Melkor downstairs, man. I think we're going to try to cover some Misfits songs and maybe watch a film called Lords of Chaos. He says I'm going to like it or something, I don't know. I don't know, he's got better film taste than Gill-boy, that's pretty much sure. But anyways, man, I got to go and do some King stuff, with Larry, Terry, and Jerry. Till next time, stay psycho.